Welcome back to Pisces TV with Montana B. This is Sunday Fun Day, okay? Something we're doing with the collective. I know that you guys are used to it being Members Day, and it usually is, but we are doing a fun day as I have been asked to deliver a few more messages than usual. So if you are new to the channel, you came at a really good time, okay? And if you are a returner, I appreciate your continued support. As we get into this reading, take a deep breath. Anything that has happened, it has happened. Let it go. And whatever you're looking forward to, set those intentions clearly, okay? Before we get started, just know there's a lot of information in the description box, as well as a link to all of our platforms. If you want to join us on the other side, my website, social media handles, email, and Patreon is in the description box. And here on YouTube, we have the community board, which is so essential. It's like the description box ultra vix, so check it out. And we have the member section as well as the merchandise. So shout out to Teespring for lightening my workload. Okay, as we get started, guys, the first thing I want to say is Saturn will not let up, right? Coming out in the outcome or the advice position with the number 21, where it talks about completion, I love numerology, because that seems to be meaning much more now as we focus on the, or not even focus on, just be paying attention to synchronicities and signs. And you guys have been sharing with me some of the light codes, master numbers or angel numbers that you see. So we have 44 here. Okay, that might be significant to somebody. And we'll start out with St. Francis. I've never pulled this card before, so Pisces, you're in for a treat. As long as I've had this deck, I don't think I've ever done a reading where St. Francis came out. So I did immediately grab the guidebook. I didn't read the rest of the cards, but I was just curious to know what St. Francis was talking about with all of the animals on the card. So if you want to see without the light cramping our style, we have St. Francis here, okay, with the rabbit, the horse. I think there's another vase, as we were talking about Aquarius, and the water bearer. I think that's a vase. I ain't sure. But I think St. Francis really liked animals or something. He's standing with the horse. What I took from it intuitively is maybe paying attention to the animals and stuff like that. You know, they talk about the birds flying south, or I don't know. I even told one of our Pisceans before, all of you, it was just this time being in LA, the bees, I kept seeing bees dead on the ground. And then someone else, I think she was in Vegas, she sent me some pictures, and it was maybe even something about radiology, which we've talked about in the health reading. So if you want to check that out, and I'm not a doctor, okay, a medical doctor, but that came up in the health reading. So a lot of my essential workers and stuff like that, since I'm bringing it up, something about radiology, or even, you know, global warming. It's wintertime, and even though it's cool in some areas, it was 90 degrees in Los Angeles the other day. And even in the cooler areas, because I'm visiting family, I stepped outside or near the window, and it was like so warm and comfortable because it's cold outside, but the sunbeam was very, very, very strong. So that could be for somebody. Or just watch the animals, honey. They may know something we don't know, right? And when I read from St. Francis, it said exactly that. So I'll share with you guys from the guidebook. It says, create sanctuary in your heart for the creatures that coexist with us. Just because we developed computers doesn't mean humans know everything. We are becoming further disconnected from our natural knowledge. This is about understanding. We are not the only ones with rights who are worth respecting. So I was like, first of all, who out there disrespecting animals? And then I thought about, are you guys seeing animals? My son had been playing with frogs all day, and he has a lot of toys, and most of them are animals. So I think I'm gonna start paying attention to that. You can let me, leave comments in the box about what animals you guys have been seeing a lot of lately. And I know Pisces, most of the time we are very much connected with the birds, right? Or owls, fish. Oh, maybe maybe it's a code. Look at this. Now I feel like Dora or something. You see the swan in the center of this card. Yesterday we had the swan in the mirroring card, huh? And in my wild animal unknown, maybe source is like nudging me to use those today. But in the wild unknown, the swan represents, oh, it was so many messages in this card. Look, the swan is was like the page of cups, and also represented the swan in the wild unknown, and it was something about its own reflection, where like the swan was on top of the water and there was another image of the swan reflecting, right? So they looked like twins, but it was something about the mirror, and we talked about that yesterday. If you guys hadn't seen, I think it was the why is this happening to me right now reading. So then when I think about the horse, I think about a runner, a chaser, or whatever the horse tells him symbolizes for you. And then we have the rabbit. The rabbit is seen in the Six of Cups. So if I put the Six of Cups with, the Page of Cups or my twins, and the horse with the runner or the chaser, I don't know. But these, I'm not trying to draw a conclusion for you. These are all of the animals in this card. And then this isn't an animal at the bottom of the deck. It's looks like something to store water in, right? Like a vase or a jug of some sort. So we've been talking about Aquarius or the star. Okay. Now in the center of the reading, we have the Chariot, as I just talked about the horse. So am I getting King of Wands energy? He is holding the horse of all the other animals. Like he is right next to this horse, and everything else was kind of like cropped into this picture. So now we have the Chariot with a golden horse at the top of it, right? So the number is 44. It is a master number. And with Saturn next to it, I keep thinking about lessons or whatever. I don't know what it alludes to, but let's see. This is your golden ticket. The Chariot is the fast pace to your goals. The universe has finally heard your prayers and is conspiring with you. With this extra force behind you, not much can get in your way. The more direct you are about your goals, the faster you will achieve them. So if we have the first card, something you may not necessarily know, as smart as you are. And the second card, which talks about a rite of passage or the fast track, goals, the universe hearing you and conspiring with you, extra force behind you. So it's kind of like help in a sense, to not like put it in a box. I feel that there's help. Now traditionally, because these are oracle cards, I would say that the Chariot represent forward movement, doors opening, blocks being removed. The story of St. Francis, beyond what this deck has told us, could also be something, okay? And then we have Saturn in the outcome or advice, and I am pulled to take a couple of tarot cards. I can't lie to you. So Saturn, the number 21, giving me world card vibes. It says Saturn implements rules and structure. These energies of accomplishing tasks through discipline are moving into your life. So 2 cards about movement, because you don't know everything or something we may be missing. Okay. So it's like, be open to what you see or what you don't see or something like that. And I also got this energy of intuition, because animals don't speak our language. They're different species, but our intuitions are the same. If you see an animal doing something and it's kind of like, they speak to you. They tell you a message. And so that's more of consciousness, right? It's kind of cool. But through discipline, what we got? These energies of accomplishing tasks through discipline are moving into your life. You have been out partying too much, or have you? I haven't. I thought we was all on quarantine. Well, you are about to get put on timeout. What? Saturn is also known as the ruler of debt. So something comes to an end. It's time to cut out what is not serving you anymore. Let's get real. Cut that childish shit out. This is about working hard and self-discipline. And we have at the bottom of the deck, the Magician. So for some of us, I do feel like this may come out more in our love reading. But when I mentioned the Page of Cups and something about the Chariot, and Saturn is saying, yo, stop playing games, we got the Dagger and the Heart, which is like the sword and a cup. So some truth and realization. And some of you, it may feel like the deepest cut. Thankfully for me, I find humor in some of the shit that the Magician does. And if you do too, how we have grown. But we got the Magician here with all of the elements, what looks like Saturn at the top of the card. Is Saturn the Magician? Is this the the wheel? You know how it goes tick, 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 tick. Is this like gonna tell us where it lands? I don't know. I'm compelled to try a love reading since the King of Wands, the Magician, and this here Deepest Cut has come up. So if you are interested, stay tuned for that. I may go live so we can do it as a collective. So leave me comments. I do read them. Okay. Like, share, subscribe. But if you guys want to talk about this, whatever this is, because it's like Saturn is coming through as the Magician, or a lesson or something. I don't know. Let's talk about it. Namaste.